First of all, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here today. I think you all agree that we as a country make a sacred oath to our veterans to take care of them when they return home. And you are asking to be part of that system. Mr. Baehr, I remember when we met a few weeks ago, you talked about you just transferred your VA education benefits to your son. I was really glad to hear that because you, as a veteran, earned that benefit through your service. And in fact, all of our veterans deserve access to the benefits they earned through their service. So you can imagine why I and many of us are very concerned about Trump's plan now to fire over 80,000 VA employees and how that would seriously disrupt veterans being able to access not just their, obviously, education benefits, but their disability benefits, their health care, home loan benefits, all of that they've earned. So, Mr. Baehr, I wanted to ask you, do you support those widespread cuts across the VA?
Senator, as you know, I'm not at the VA and have had no role in any of those choices or decisions. As an individual who uses VA myself, of course, I want to ensure that we have the best services and benefits. I also, as a veteran, want to see the VA improve, and I think this entire committee does as well. So I would review the law, and I would advise the Secretary on following a legal path and pursuing his vision for putting the veteran at the center of all that we do, if confirmed.
Do you think that firing 80,000 people will make it more or less difficult for veterans to get access?
I have not looked at the situation myself, Senator, and I don't know what I've just read the public reporting on it. I understand there's some exempt positions. The Secretary said that he's focused on care for veterans and making sure veterans don't lose care or benefits. So I don't know, where those opportunities for efficiency or not exist in the system. My role, if confirmed, would be to ensure that everything we do is lawful and compliant with Title V, Title 38, and other rules and regulations, and provide
This committee over the years has often discussed wait times, people not getting access. That has really increased in the last month or so from our veteran community, and it takes people to process. It takes somebody there to talk to. So I would just remind all of us that this is a people organization, and if we fire 80,000 people, it's going to be really challenging and difficult, if not impossible, for our veterans to get the care and benefits that they've earned. I kind of just referenced this, but this committee has worked to pass a lot of really important pieces of legislation that require vital changes at the VA. That includes the Caregivers Program that I passed when I was chair of this committee, the Deborah Sampson Act, and of course the PACT Act, which just passed recently. During Secretary Collins' nomination hearing, he testified that he agreed with providing vital health care and benefits to veterans, and we have to get it right. However, I just have to say I have really serious concerns that this administration now is picking and choosing which laws to follow, which means not living up to the promises we have made to our veterans and really ignoring the intent of Congress. For example, we know that VA is doing a review to determine whether it is fully compliant with the Mission Act, but not reviewing the compliance with any other piece of legislation. Mr. Topping, let me just start with you. Is the PACT Act less important than the Mission Act?
Senator, I think all the legislation passed by this Congress is important.
Do you think VA should pick and choose which laws to follow?
Senator, I think like any organization with limited resources, time, capabilities, there's always a prioritization. None is more or less important, but I think what the Secretary said he's doing is he is focused on maximizing efficiency, redeploying those resources so that they are front-facing and mission-essential to veterans, and ensuring that the veteran remains at the center of everything that we do. I'm not there. I'm not exactly sure how the prioritization works, but I understand what the Secretary has articulated his goals to be.
Mr. Baehr, do you think that the VA should pick and choose which laws to follow?
Senator, I believe the VA should follow all the laws, and if confirmed, I would advise the Secretary on how he can fulfill his role in the best course of action with all the laws and regulations that are passed by Congress.
I just have a few seconds left, and I wanted to ask you, Mr. Baehr, do you believe it's legal for DOJ to have access to veterans' personal information?
Senator, I, again, am not at VA, and I'm not familiar with what is going on. I'm just operating on what I've read in the public news. And there are, as the Deputy Secretary said in his hearing, there are significant protections for veterans' information. All three veterans before you, our information is in VA. So we're certainly sympathetic. Don't want anyone looking at my podiatry records or other
Personal, financial
embarrassing
health,
items.
all of that.
Right.
So if the department is given directives by DOJ or by the White House that you believe are illegal, will you follow those directives?
Senator, as I said before to Senator Morantz, I will always pursue the Constitution and follow the laws. I don't believe I'll be given illegal directives, but I will always follow the law.